Hi, garden rebels. You'd think in February the garden and the nursery would just slow down, but amazingly, it's just the reverse. Everything really kicks into high gear. We start planting baskets, we're transplanting plants. Plants are coming in. Today though, I want to show you 3 plants you don't want to miss in the month of February. Why don't you want to miss this? It's because these 3 plants just might change your garden and thus change your life. All the details coming up. Getting right into it, number 1 is this guy. What is it? And why do I need to know about this? This is a type of Armaria. And Armarias are nice, short, cute little guys. The trick and the magic of this one is that it blooms constantly. Shear back the bloom, it'll rebloom. Shear back the bloom, it'll rebloom. This one's called Daydream. You can see those 2 little buds right there. Even just a little bit of sun causes them to bloom. Now, how to use this? Let me show you. First up, the Armaria. Simple way to plant it in the landscape is just to plant them in a cluster of 3. I usually do 6 to 8 inches apart, and I cluster them so that when they grow larger, this will all be one big mound of that pink bloom. Also makes it easier to give it a good haircut, and voila. Now, if you want to use this Armaria in a container, here's an idea, is to try a Heuchera Red Lightning with those big bold leaves. It's going to contrast out that small, almost grass-like leaf and give you that color. Then I add in a little bit of different foliage, so something like that, something like that. A 1, 2, 3 combination, that easy. Second up, and I have to show this to you because the crop came in so lovely. Take a look. This is a Ficus Japonica. I've shown this before. This is spiderweb. I have just a few of these guys and they look so marvelous. I know they will go fast. I try to keep it in stock all year round, but you know plants, when you see them, you gotta grab them. Look how gorgeous these are, especially if you have difficulty in your shady areas. This is the one that will enjoy that afternoon shade. It can get by with morning sun, but afternoon shade is the key. Here are some ideas on how to use this particular plant. Now, in the Ficus Japonica spiderwebs with that big bold leaf, just makes it really easy to plant it, and it's a diva on its own. But if you really want to bring out its boldness, is to put in a contrasting foliage. I use this Acorus ogon. It's a very versatile grass. You can use it in all kinds of containers, in all kinds of landscapes, and it also looks good year-round. But you can start seeing that it really brings out that boldness of the leaf. If you really want to add in a number 3, add in, say, this bog rosemary. So you have a 1, 2, 3 mixture. You get the blue, the white and blue, and the yellow. Makes it picture perfect. Put this in the landscape like this, or put it in a container. And by the way, one reason I have this on the hazelnuts here is because when you plant at our planting bar, be sure to use some hazelnuts to top off your container. Just gives it a little bit of extra color and texture. Lastly, I have number 3, and you're going to love this one. Take a look. What is this one? It almost looks like our native rhododendrons. But alas, this is a type of Daphne. Yeah, the huge leaves, just gorgeous. This one is called Perfume Princess. And if you know Daphnes, you know how wonderfully fragrant they are. Now this is a cross between a Daphne Adora and Daphne Balua. So you get a really unusual mix. This will get 3 to 4 feet tall maximum. So very much like a rhododendron. It's right on the border of hardiness though. So we're gonna have to protect this in the winter time. Maybe keep it out of the winter wind. Now, what makes this one particularly special is that this is the largest Daphne bloom and the longest lasting Daphne bloom. So, of course, yes, it's limited. Here is an idea on how you can use this Daphne in your garden. Oh, I can't tell you how excited I am about this new Daphne. Just look at those gorgeous leaves. It just grows very much just like a rhododendron, so I'm excited about that. And then the big large blooms on there and the longest bloom time. There's a lot going for this. Now with that greenness, it loves to sit in the afternoon shade. I'm going to use Acorus again, and you can see that green and the yellow just makes it stand out. Now because things in the shade tend to be very, very green or forms of green, the yellow stands out. You can also use the Haconocloa, which is a great shade grass too. It does die back during the wintertime while this one stays year-round. I'd add in some color too, that pop of color. The Heucheras, fantastic job. You get the green, the reds, the yellows. Put this in a container so that during the wintertime you can tuck that container away from that winter wind and even move it by a doorway so that when it comes into bloom you get that wonderful fragrance. And there it is, folks. I promise you just to keep it at 3, though there are so many more to choose from. Guys, that's the tips and tricks for this week. Always live your passion. Want to say something? He's speechless.